So firstly, I want to apologise for the noise in the background. My husband is doing the decking. As always, my videos are professional. So I've got no show mesh, polymesh stabiliser, whatever. It says cut away, so you can use any. It's only because you're going to be leaving it in. So this is why it has to be a cutaway. Otherwise, it's going to make a mess. So any cutaway, but I use polymesh because it's softer. So this is my 8x8 hoop. Brother don't make a 7x7 hoop. I don't think they do anyway. I'm doing 7x7 size me. Just a word to the wise as well. If you're doing it on a 6x6 machine, so if it's a brother machine and you're doing it on the two 600s and all them, smaller machines, 800Es, I'm not sure if Sweetpea have got a design that's 150 by 150. But if they have, you download that one to use it on the 6x6 hoop. Otherwise, your machine will not read it because the 6x6 is slightly bigger than the brother 6x6 hoop. It's 5 point something, the 6x6 hoop. I know it says 6x6, but it's 5.8 something or whatever, 9 something. So the Sweetpea 6x6 design will be too big for your 6x6 machines. So you'll either have to shrink it down in your software or use, if you look on the design, they might have 150 by 150 size. Use that one. So, right. I hooked me stabiliser. So this is what we call when we say we're floating. You just hook your stabiliser. So now I've got my design already pre-loaded onto my machine. I'm going to put my wadding, batting, whatever you want to call it in. This is a 80-20 mix, but you can use anything. I've just pre-cut it into a square. Even though that is 8x8, it don't look square. It looks oblong, but that's the way they are because of how machine has to work, etc. So the first thing on the machine, the first step is the tack down of the wadding. Now I think the wadding as well, you've got like a bit of a soft area and a bit more rougher. If I'm not mistaken, soft area is what you want to put facing up. Just make it easier. So, well, not easier, but that's apparently needle goes in better. Just something I learned when I was quilting, possibly. Anyway, I'm waffling. So I'll pop it on the machine. Right, so I've got me what you call it on, wadding on. Got my design set, you can see. So finish embroidery. So we're doing the tree one first. Sorry, I just sneezed. So this is the one that we're doing. So tree. Uh, I think there's 4 trees, as in 4 blocks. You can do what you want and how you want to do this quilt. I'm going to do it like it is in picture, then I cannot cause any confusion. So I've done that tree up front already just to get going, and I've also got another one um, that I've done as well in a different background. So they're what I've already done. So your first one, God, I'm stuttering today. So your first lot of stitches is the tack down stitch for your wadding. So, and you can see on here, it says number 1. Can you see it? I don't know. Anyway, number 1. So that's tacking down all your wadding, batting, whatever you want to call it. And then not all companies do this. Everybody does it differently. Different companies, different quilts. Sweetpea, you trim this down to about 1 millimetre around it. The next row of stitches are going to be the background fabric. So it's going to give you a placement line first. Normally I'd skip this, but I'll put it on so you can see what's what. Because if you look on this design here, you've only got your background to there. So it's just telling you now, it's a stitching round look, showing where to place your background fabric. So it's leaving a gap at bottom here, you can see. Yep, see gap. So next one now, it's placement of this. We have to put that upside down or which way to go. I'll do it that way. So it's got to cover that. It's got to cover your bottom line here. So it can tack down. You see, little line there. So you've got to cover that so it can tack down. But also you've got to leave 1/2 inch around for your seam allowance. Ish. Like that. So we'll do that. But I'm not going to play these videos all the way along. It's going to be boring for you to watch. And then what you do then, you trim this seam here. Leave these 3, trim that. But because I've got it so close, I don't need to. So my next lot of stitches is going to be the background circles. These. So that's going to be them. But what I've done on this house, I've left them off. So I'm going to leave these off this tree as well. So the next one is the, like I said, is these circles, this quilting stitch. But on this one now, I'm going to leave it off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to skip me forward. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to skip my machine forward. I don't want them circles on this one. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm going into my stitches, skipping it forward because I can. Now it's going to do tree trunks. So as you can see now, it's just stitching out the tree trunks. And as I've said before, I've skipped these circles here, this quilting. Because sometimes I get bored. So you can either skip them or go with them. The only thing is, if you don't skip them, you might get puckers. Obviously, the house, you see here, house is slightly puckered here. So if you quilt it background, but because I've got such a busy background, I thought I'd go with it without, just for these few. So next one now, we're on, what's it, colour 5, and it's the stick down stitch, if you like, or to set stitch down of your bottom bit. It's just a straight line on your machine there, if you can see it. So again, leave your seam allowance best you can. So that goes right side down. I'm doing mine grey because picture's grey, but you can do whatever colour you want. Now, if you don't want to waste your fabrics, pre-cut them from what the sizes are in the instructions. As you can see, I haven't pre-cut mine because life's too short, can't be bothered. I'm a rule breaker at the end of the day, so you can see I have got quite a bit of seam allowance there, but I haven't. So yeah, if you don't want to waste fabrics, I'm a collector of fabrics, so yeah. Again, so you're going to hold that back now because that's going to next one is going to stitch the bottom bit down. So as long as you've got a 2-inch, no, 1/2 inch gap for your seam allowance, jolly good. Now they tell you to iron this if you want, or you can iron it, finger press it, whatever. So we're on step 8 already, and it's Christmas tree placement. So just let it stitch through. I've left same colour in if you want to be able to see it. Just to be aware if you're doing a plique, make sure you can see where you're going to place it. And once you put your fabric on top, make sure you can see to cut round it. Now there is SVG files. Somebody asked about that to cut it on your scan and cut. So yeah, there are SVG files. I'm not using my scan and cut. I'm just going to use scissors. I think it's habits. I'm used to it that way. So now make sure you whatever you're using covers your placement stitch. I've done that before. And then that's your tack down. This is vinyl I'm using. Just be careful if you are going to use vinyl. Because if you're going to put it in your seams, it is an absolute pain to sew together then. But this is away from the seam, so you should be fine. So after that then, I'm going to take it off the machine and I'm going to trim all the way around it. So take the hoop off and then just trim. Can you see? All the way around. If you're using your scan and cut, you don't need to trim it, obviously you just need to put it over the top. Next number is number 10 I'm doing. So now it's going to be stitching the satin stitch around the trees. I'm using Sweetpeas in credit threads and they're absolutely brilliant, to be honest with you. So as you can see, look, you've got all your using up browns there. So now with trees, I've got a box of greens. Ta-da! So let's pick a nice colour. I'll go with that one. I've not used that one before because it's still got plastic on it. It's always a telltale sign, isn't it? So these Incredi threads are incredible. Well, hey, because you can use them for sewing and embroidery. So you can get rid of the two lots of threads. That makes it magical for me. Let's sort everything out. So right, let's get it going. I'll show it you. So I'm teaching this on Brother Avenir, but you can do it on any machine, obviously. So let's go for that. So it's going to be 5 minutes doing the tree. I won't bore you watching it all. So that's just doing satin stitch round the tree. Next stitch is number 11. So we're on step 11. It's placement stitch for the second tree. So I'll just do that for you. As you can see, I've cut round and everything and satin stitch have done it. We'll keep same green in for time being, but we'll change it over. When I'm doing satin stitch on it. You'll be able to see that. This is the darker green glittery. I think the needle needs changing. I'm not listening to the sound. But, you know, say no more. I wonder if that'll do it. That way. Or pot it. We'll get it that way. Like I say, if you pre-measure your fabric, you won't waste it like I'm doing. So yeah, the tack down stitch again. And then after this, obviously, I'm going to cut round it and then do the satin stitch. So we're on step 12 now of 14. So tree ones aren't that difficult to do. Well, none of it's difficult, to be honest with you. So this is step 13. So it's just doing the satin stitch around the Christmas tree. The next step is the last step, which is 14, which will be the snow on the trees. So can you see here all this snow? Now I've done this using a sparkle thread, a Madeira. It's called Madeira Metallic. I've used that, but it's a bit glittery. I don't know if you can see it right. Yeah, you can. There, it's got a bit of a sheen. But I'm going to use white. But next to lots of trees, I do because I've not got enough of that sparkle left. Plus, you can see tree through it. If you can see it green. But then again, on a normal tree, you can. So I'm not going to be too particular. So this is the last step. So like I said, it's doing the white snow. So get that going. That's going to take 12 minutes because it's got quite a bit of snow on it. So I'll show you when it's finished. Right, as you can see, it's finished. So that's the first video done. So that's the trees done. So I've now got 3 trees, 3 sets of trees. I think, like I said, there's 4 on pattern. So one lot more to go. But you can do anything you want, any colours. You can be controversial. No, controversial. Conventional. Having a bad day today with my words. Conventional, unconventional, traditional, whatever. But make sure when you're trimming these, you don't trim this away. Because if you do, you're not able to fasten them together. There's a way around it, but just don't do it. You want 1/2 inch seam all the way around. So, yeah, that's 3 lots of trees I've done now. So that's your first video done. Okie dokie.